Morning folks, Chad here again at the farm. Welcome back to another episode of me trying to figure out how to build this sawmill. It's been a lot of fun. I just finished building the stand. Hope you saw that episode. Now, today I'm leveling off the track here, and that's a little bit of a process to level it. The manual tells you to use one of these and go along and along, but I got this laser level and I think it's suitable. You can see the green line right there on the edge, and if I can match that all the way across, it'll be perfect. I pretty much have this whole side right here all level. What you got to do is loosen off the bolt under here, get the whole thing level, and then tighten up this top bolt. So I've done that now, and I'm just going ahead to secure all of these. But before I level off this side long ways, I want to level it sideways. So put that up in there. And it's just slightly off. So this side just needs to go up a little bit, but I basically have to do that on each bunk to make sure that the whole thing is level this way. Okay, that's looking all good. And I'm checking the level here. That looks pretty darn good. And that looks pretty darn good. Now, because this HM136MAX is so big, it's very heavy, of course. I don't see how you could possibly order this and assemble it and use it on a regular basis if you don't have even the simplest kind of machinery to lift it up. Now, I have my John Deere 3039R, and I have a set of pallet forks on it, and it's making it somewhat easier, but it's still not perfect. But if you don't have anything, I don't see how you're doing it. I think you better be prepared that if you're going to get into this sawmill stuff, you better have some kind of equipment to make your life easier. Maybe I can use this and then just tilt it down. I wonder if this comes off though. See how big it is? It's really huge. But that's pretty much why I got this model. This is one of their latest models, and it can do 36-inch in diameter logs. I don't know, I think I won't have to buy a sawmill for the rest of my life probably, because they can do small logs and big logs. If you buy one that's a little bit too small, then I think you'll be struggling when you want to do that one log. Now, some people never want to do a big log, but what if you want to do like a big nice black walnut or a cherry and it's a big fat log? Then you can't do it. So that's my reasoning for getting such a big size model. And what I mean by that, of course, is that this thing right here is the cutting head. And I mean, it's huge. It's probably 5 feet across. Really, really, really heavy. Like, I can't even pick it up. I don't even know how I'm going to get it out. I think what I'm going to do is remove this and then just tilt it down this way and put some cardboard here. And then I can move the pallet out of the way. I already took out the engine, and they come with these nice handy straps, but this cutting head doesn't come with any straps, so I'll have to rig something up if I have to move it myself. Right, Olive? I gotta rig something up. Now let me just tell you, in the manual, this is the last page on how to level it, and then the very next page is basically telling you to lay the sawmill head flat. Now this is the sawmill head, so this is the flat side. It's telling you to lay it down flat. But nowhere in the instructions does it warn you that you better have some kind of a technique or a piece of equipment, or at least two guys, to get this laid out in front like that. Now, I'm only one guy, so I'm going to figure it out. At least this side has these little bolts, eh? That's why I took these bolts off right here. And this is welded down here, but I'm thinking I can just bend this and bend the whole thing down. And then I'll be able to just lay that down by myself. Okay, it took some working, but I think it's okay. I'll just get it into position and start assembling. Okay, we just need to install these long bars. They're called front posts. We need 2 of them, and that's it. This little red thing stays on. How does that go on? I'll try a rubber mallet. Okay. It's awfully tight to get through there because of this white nylon bushing here, but you just have to kind of force it somehow. Now it says remove those red caps as soon as you're able to push it through. The red caps just help you push it through because it's so tight. But now it says remove them. Next is the carriage legs. You need all these parts, and then you need these 2 big, huge carriage legs. I put it up on some 6x6s because it needs to be off the ground. So in order for me to attach this needs to be raised up a bit. I'm just trying to locate all the different parts. The good thing about what Woodland Mills has done here, you can see that's an M12 times 90 millimeters bolt. And according to the manual, I need 3 M12 times 90. So it's relatively easy to find the parts because it's clearly labeled. Now we just tip it up so that it's standing in the upright position. Okay, we have to assemble this big red piece right there. And it looks kind of complicated. There's a lot of parts that's involved, so I'm just going to prepare all the parts and go step by step. This next piece says it requires 2 people, which I don't have, so I'm just going to use my tractor and kind of cheat a little. Okay. This piece is heavy. This section here, you got the spacer, you got some kind of pulley. I don't yet know what the pulley's for. It must have something to do with cranking the engine. Just a snug fit, it says. This thing here is the scale bracket, and there's another piece that I put down there, so I guess something mounts up and down this way. So the next step is to set up the engine here. It comes with a Honda GX630, which is pretty cool. And I mean, it says it's pretty weighty, and there's a couple things that you got to actually do to it before you can mount it onto the frame. I'd agree that it's fairly heavy, but it's one man can handle it. I mean, just got to put your back into it. The next bunch of pages all has to do with setting the engine up. This is a drain extension. This is the clutch. This is getting ready for the exhaust. This is putting the muffler on. This is like the clutch guard. You got to do something there. So I got to go through this step by step and see all what it's asking you to do. Page by page, you can see this is 5, 6, 7 pages. So now for the clutch assembly, take this off. Now in the diagram, it shows that little slot is in the upward position, but in real life, it's on the side. So you're supposed to put this on, and then this is supposed to be sitting on the top like that, but it's off onto the side. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm trying to put the clutch assembly on. It doesn't even really fit in there. It's kind of a snug fit, so maybe that's how it goes. See, there's a little slot right there. I guess that's gotta line up, but this turns. So, yeah, I guess you want to kind of line it up. Okay, it's not as easy as it looks. It doesn't say anything about hammering it. I'm trying to be gentle with my mallet, but it just won't go on. Shouldn't be that tight. It's that key. It's like they made that key just a little bit too big. So I've been fighting with this piece. This is the clutch assembly, and you put that collar on, and then you put the key. They call it a key. It's like a spacer type thing, and you put that there, and then this is supposed to just slide right on. See what it says? And then slide the clutch assembly over the shaft key all the way. I'm having a real hard time. I've been hitting it in the center with my mallet here, And I mean, that key keeps moving, so it keeps kind of sliding upwards of that way. See, if this is on the thing already, then it should just slide right on. But look at it, it's like it doesn't even slide. It's like this piece is too big, or maybe the groove is not really cut properly. Well, I'm going to try to sand this down a bit. See if I can sand it down just enough to slide it on. Okay, I just filed this down ever so slightly, and I dry fit it, and it's like it's good now. See how it slides in and out of there? So hopefully this will work now. Almost. Honestly, you shouldn't have to go through that, of course. I just paid like 10 grand for this thing. But I mean, sometimes the machine doesn't fit things right, you know? It's all done by computerized CNC machines, and maybe it was just that tiny little hair out. I got it to fit though, so no harm, no foul, I guess. I just wasted about 40 minutes. This here is the guard for the clutch. Now we got to connect the remaining wires on the wiring harness. I guess it just snaps in like that. Okay, that one's a blank. And that's this thing. I don't know what this is connected to yet. We'll see. Maybe this for the battery? I don't know. This here has something to do with the drip irrigation for the cooling of the blade. This is some kind of regulator. Something to do with heat for the engine. Okay, now that that's done, we got to install the battery box. So I went to Canadian Tire, which is our go-to battery store here in Canada, and I picked up a U1 battery. It's like a lawn and garden battery. It's pretty small, and you have to get the right measurements to fit inside this black box. Next is we have to install the log scale support. That's the measuring scale. Next is to install the lubrication tank and all the tubing, and this is all the parts that we're going to need. And then it goes up on top of this thing, I guess. So from the water tank, the tube goes down to this little coupling thing, and then from here goes down threaded through that section, and then it connects right here, and I guess that's where the water shoots out to cool down the blade. Next up is to install this mechanism that lifts the cutting head up and down. Now we got to figure out how to run these cables. The cables came already attached, but we'll just do this step by step. Okay, time to install the handle. The handle is very adjustable. Once you get these bolts in, you should be able to really adjust it how the angle that you want. And I mean, they make this part adjustable like this so that, because everybody is a different height, right? Everybody has like a different working height. And I mean, I may even be flipping this up so it sticks upwards. I'm not exactly sure. This spring has got to go on here, and then this gets fed through that little tube there. Yeah, let it sit there because I got to get it through that screw. Okay, today's the day we're going to try to lift this thing onto the tracks. That looks like it's on. That looks like it's on. I can tell you, there ain't no way you're getting this up on top without some kind of machinery. Because it was a beast. I couldn't even get my small little mini tractor high enough to get it up on top. So it is what it is. It's a good thing I have my neighbor with his excavator, because guess what? That saved my life here. Well, now that wasn't entirely easy, but I got it done. Be forewarned, anybody who wants to get the HM136MAX from Woodland Mills, it is a beast. It's very large, and you're going to need some kind of equipment to lift it up. But I managed okay, and it seems to be rolling very nicely on the track. I don't have any binding, and there's no twisting or bumps, so I'm going to go ahead and get all the bolts on this thing tightened up as per the instruction manual, and I'm getting close now to being able to make my first cut. So stay tuned till the next episode, and where we're going to be getting all the fine tuning done, and we'll be making the first cut on our new 136 Max.